I'm just going to
And I'm behind all those.
No, I don't know any of those words.
No.
So right now I'm walking along and like, no, this man is the cult leader now.
Tiptoeing through the
We
tulips,
will
baby.
follow him. He says jump off the ledge, we jump.
This episode is made possible by our therapy partners, Dirty B, Pickett, and Jake Schneider from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Pod Therapy, real people, real problems, and real therapists. You can submit your questions anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com. It's another Whitney List episode.
You're welcome.
And now, broadcast from the Churn, that's Jim. I'm Nick. It's time for some Pod Therapy.
Man, she is really stretching out this Italy trip. This is ridiculous.
So here's the thing, because I was wondering whether or not she was going to be here.
Okay.
I know she's not, only because I went on her Instagram and I saw that she posted a picture, I believe this morning.
Okay.
Just like, our last day in Italy, blah, blah, blah.
That's how you figured it out.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I could be completely wrong. I think she posted that just for us.
Yeah.
To let us know.
Let us know I'm not coming.
Because here's the thing. I know she told us when she was coming back.
Yeah.
We were not listening.
No, and she knows we have
She knows we
no
weren't listening.
idea. And so she's like in that mode of like, I'm not going to just text you and let you know.
Insult you. And,
yeah, because like we talked about this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to allow you to discover in case you didn't fully get it.
It was definitely that vibe.
Well, because she's still on the group text.
Yeah.
So she saw that we were going to record today instead of tomorrow.
Yes.
Because initially she said that she might be at the recording tomorrow, because I think she gets in tomorrow morning.
That's right.
See?
Yeah.
See, he was listening way more than either of us.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we don't get paid to listen. Yeah.
And there was a comment made, like, you're not going to come record that night after
that's
just
right.
getting in
No,
that day.
yeah, that's right. Now I remember. Yeah, we were like, no, come on, you're. But
then we had to push it today, recording for me. We're recording early.
So you're traveling. What's going on?
Traveling tonight.
Ooh.
Going down to see a concert tonight. A little indie up and coming artist, Taylor Swift.
Is that how it's pronounced?
I believe so. Yeah.
Of
Swift.
Swift.
I thought it was Swift.
I've heard she tries her little heart out.
Yeah.
And like it's one of
she
those
really
things
puts the
where,
effort in.
Yeah,
Good for
you'll
her.
get there and you'll be like, oh, it's
I hope
this-
she makes it.
Yeah.
She won't. But it's so hard to make it in this
It is.
business, man.
Yeah.
It's really who you know.
Even having the #1 tour of all time, it's still tricky.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's pretty fun. So where are y'all seeing it at?
New Orleans. Going down to New Orleans.
Yeah, I've heard of that place.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty cool. So you're flying all the way there for that. That's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
This is going to be at the Falcons Stadium there.
That is
Mercedes-Benz.
Atlanta that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh, did that hurt a little bit?
Oh, okay.
You're thinking of
That was the
Falcons
dig?
in Atlanta. That was
It wasn't.
weird.
It wasn't
Way to
intended
get
to
him.
be.
Way to
That
get
was
him,
just-
Brooke.
that was just weird.
But I feel like it was that scene in Super Troopers where he puts a bar of soap in his coffee. He's like, oh, you rookie bitch. Okay.
That was just weird.
That's right.
Oh, great prank, Farva. Bite the soap. Make him feel like an idiot.
There was a minute that both of their stadiums were sponsored by Mercedes.
Because
Yeah.
I do remember seeing the Superdome had the Mercedes.
It was the Mercedes Superdome
logo,
and the Mercedes Stadium in Atlanta.
So half
But not
point
anymore.
For me.
Not
Yeah,
anymore. It's the
okay.
Caesars Superdome. It's sponsored. The
Oh,
Superdome
well,
is,
then you're all in.
has
Yeah.
Caesars Palace. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Do you consider yourself a Swiftie? I mean, your
No.
wife performs as
no,
Taylor Swift.
I'm not.
Okay.
But I mean, I like her. I admire her. I think she's great at what she does.
You know-
and I'm really looking forward to the concert.
I will give you credit for that. I consider you a guy who never really naysays art. Like,
No.
If it's not your style, if it's not your thing,
I
I've
can still
never
appreciate
seen
it.
you be against it. You're always like, no, but I'm pro art, and it's hard to make things, and
Yeah.
I respect them.
No, I mean what she does is incredible.
Yeah, it's the best at what she does.
It shouldn't be possible.
No,
there's
she's
so many
crushing.
things that she does that just shouldn't be possible.
Right.
As
like
far as
Travis
concerts
Kelce,
goes.
like that. Just
I mean,
how?
sure.
He's
How?
just unattainable.
I can't get him. Like, I mean, how are you getting this girl? Just take your win. He's the trophy.
That's
He's,
it.
in the end. I'm sure, like, of all of her achievements, Travis Kelce.
He's the most confusing.
Okay, but if you had to pick,
Okay.
Travis or Jason, which would you go?
Oh, Jason. 100.
I think Jason too.
If I had to pick one to hang out with, Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Oh, to make love to Jason Kelsey. It's have you seen
Somebody
his,
wins in all cases, right?
I think we're on the same side. Have you seen his sexy Campbell's soup commercial?
No.
It's the best. So he's been hired by Campbell's Soup.
I tell you what, those fucking Kelsey brothers,
They're doing so good.
Somebody
Oh,
at
yeah.
one point in their life said, "Hey, make hay when the sun shines," and they fucking listened.
They've been doing so well. So Jason Kelsey is the official spokesperson for Chunky Soup.
Great.
As just a big bone dude. And he's like on this like animal fur rug, like, biting his lip. And he's like, give Chunky a chance. And it's so funny.
I'm fine with all of that.
He's great. And he's just sitting there like slowly eating soup. And he's got no shirt on. It's so good. I love it. So yeah, if I had to pick a Kelsey brother to settle down with, it's Jason.
I think so too.
Travis, he wants to party. He wants to go out and see the world. I was out till 2 a.m. last night, and I'm angry about it.
Yeah, that's not for you.
No, Jason's my speed. Jason's the guy. He wakes up at 5 a.m. and he starts doing chores.
You're a
wanna hang out with
snuggle
Jason.
up and watch a Netflix on the sofa under a blanket.
That
kinda
sounds
guy.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Jason's the guy that's going to wake up early, and I'm going to wake up at 7. And I'm going to see him, and I'm going to be like, oh, hey, babe, what have you been up to? And he's so many things. He's gonna be
Jason
just-
will have coffee for you in the morning.
He'll have coffee. Well,
Yep.
that'll be the second pot. He's already drained the first, and he's probably already walked the yard, pulled the weeds. Like, he's just been doing things. Jason's the guy. Jason's my guy. Travis,
right.
he's like, oh, let's keep going out. And I'm
Yeah.
like, Travis, it's past 9. What are we doing here? And then it's going to get weird, So that's what I've written in my journal.
Yeah.
But
A
yeah.
rare moment of agreement between hosts.
We're on the same side.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, we didn't check in with Jacob. Like, I mean, is Jacob a Travis Kelsey guy or a Jason Kelsey?
Oh, he's Travis. No. Yeah. He's
Younger
Travis.
Jacob was Travis. I feel like this version of Jacob, he is Jason Kelsey. Like, he doesn't need Jason Kelsey. He is Jason. Like, I don't think he's trying to like go out and party if he's not getting paid for it. Like, I don't think he wants to. I think Jason Kelsey recently was photographed falling asleep at the Taylor Swift show. 100% Jacob's going to do that. Like,
Oh, you think so?
Yes.
No.
Nah,
Jacob's
I'm on the
Jacob's
floor.
gonna
I'm
have a
not
good
sitting
time.
down.
are you out there? Are you dancing?
Oh yeah,
are you
we
living it?
got floor tickets. Like we're down there. Like we
you're
got
partying.
We got good seats. Like we're there.
Man, that is
We're right next to the runway.
Oh boy, that's too much. That's loud. I
Oh, it's
wanna
gonna be
do
loud.
Any of that? Ugh.
No, my bet's Travis.
Will you
You
wear
think Jason?
that for Jacob?
Yeah.
Well, not now. Now he seems to be like
It's definitely
showcasing
Travis.
this Travis thing, but I
Yeah.
think it's him trying to like portray himself as young. But I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I think he's a Jason at heart.
Yeah.
All right, what's your truth?
I don't know.
Oh.
Probably somewhere in the middle.
Ooh, okay.
But none of us are going for Taylor. All of us are.
Yeah, no. It's a Kelsey thing. I don't super care about Taylor Swift. Oh, Lord. Will y'all wear earplugs to concerts, to live concerts?
I mean, I'll take them. I'll have them. I'll have them with
That's
me.
the move. Yeah. I did not do that.
'Cause I have like on my key ring here. This is all the keys that I carry.
Really?
I have my car key. I have a little USB thingy there.
Oh,
And then this little thing that looks like it holds cocaine.
And that's
is just
for-
earplugs
How are you
And
living?
cocaine.
and cocaine.
How do you get into your house?
I manage. I do fine, Jim. Don't worry about me.
Shimmying through the chimney?
Yeah. I Santa Claus it.
You said class your way into your own house. Wow. Like literally we're in a studio that I know you have keys for. How did you
I do
get
have
in
these
here?
keys.
Oh, okay.
These are my studio. These are my podcast
okay.
keys.
You-
That has my little Pegasus.
Yeah.
Little Pegasus keychain on it. So yeah, this has like the podcasting keys on it. But this just lives in the car.
I
okay.
see.
Yeah, that doesn't
Okay.
come out of the car unless
Yeah.
I'm coming in here.
You got your real these are my personal key ring, and that's just the car.
That's just the car.
And
I got a car, I got USB, I got and I got my earplugs.
That's so funny.
I keep earplugs everywhere though.
Yeah.
I have these little it's the same earplugs. I bought like 10 of these things. And it's just these tiny little earplugs. You can't tell when I'm wearing them because they just disappear into my ear.
Okay.
That's
That's
it.
very small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And So I've got those. Like I keep those. I keep one on my key ring. I keep one set at work. I keep one set in my car. Both of our cars. We've got sets in the cars.
Very diligent with the earplugs.
I like to have access to my earplugs.
Yeah, just in case you're driving someplace and there's like sirens that you just want to not
That's
listen
right.
to. You
Or
just put them
SJ
in.
just kind of is telling a story
Right,
and it's getting a little long.
It's a
and
little
you're
shrill.
like, let me just suddenly put this in here. And just kind of
There are times we record that he just kind of checks out. I
That's
wonder
what
if
it
that's
is. No, he mutes us. He's wearing a headset.
He's listening to music.
100. 100. It's funny because when we record on Sunday mornings, you know what he's doing. He's got his iPad. He's watching football. And we'll be like, what do you think, Jake? We'll be like, yeah, I think it's great. Let's go see a therapist. That'd be good
Commercial?
for you.
Okay.
Do that. Okay, commercial break. Here we go. Yeah, and I don't blame him. If I could just zone out and watch some football, that sounds good. We've got some great questions for today's Whitney Free episode.
You're welcome.
Yep, and the first one is called "Diversifying My Joy" from longtime supporter Oscar Swanrose. Hey, Pod Therapy, longtime listener and supporter here, first-time writer. First of all, thank you for all the work that you do. Listening to this podcast over the past few years has been a weekly highlight, and I've learned so much from your insights. I'm truly thankful.
Thank you.
Thanks, Oscar. Well, you're the boss, so that's high praise. You know, anytime the bosses tell us we're doing a good job, we'll stick to it. I've worked in the software industry my whole life. Since I was around 16, I'm currently 30. Software and computers were the only thing that interested me, and I got into it hard, to the point that I'm not only became my job, but also my personality and my identity. It was fun. I found it fascinating. I was good at it, and it paid really well. What could go wrong, right? Well, a lot. And when I realized that this has doing more harm than good for me, I started to move away from programming and seeking other sources of meaning and satisfaction in my life. I thought I was in a good spot. Fast forward to late last year, the company that I work for went through layoffs. Fortunately, I got to keep my job, but the whole experience shook me. I had a lot of survivor guilt, but also I realized that I still had some work to do, as I realized that my job was still a considerable part of whom I believed I was as a person. Just the idea of losing it made me feel threatened as an individual. It was not pretty. I like my job, what I do, and the opportunities that it opens for me, but I did not like that feeling. So, in 2024, I got to work actively seeking other sources of satisfaction and joy, or even meaning, so that even if my job went away, I could still feel complete. My problem: I have the tendency of turning everything I'm interested in into a business or job. For instance, I got really into coffee and decided that it'd be more fun if I was involved in a coffee brand. So I did that, and it was not fun. I got burned and lost some money. This has happened a couple of times this year alone. But this is a pattern I now notice, and it has happened many, many times over the last decade. My latest interest is scuba diving. I'm now a certified diver and have really enjoyed getting to travel to cool places and see pretty fish, meet new people, and being outside. But I can already feel my tendency creeping. Should I become an instructor and open my own scuba school? Oh my goodness. Should I approach someone to invest in their scuba school? Should I pursue this as a career? You know, ugh. Do you have any tips on how to approach this? How can I become better at setting boundaries to keep enjoying the things I like in the long term? Why am I constantly trying to find a business angle to the things I like, and how do I turn it off? I'm afraid that I will never be able to do something just for fun, that I will always have to fight this compulsion of making money from the things that I enjoy, which eventually turns them into something I no longer enjoy or care for, or even worse, I start to despise them. I'm currently in therapy and have been since I was a teenager. And this year, I also started taking medication to treat ADHD and depression anxiety symptoms. Greetings from Guadalajara, Mexico. Hope to meet you fine folks in real life one day. Signed, Oscar Swanrose.
Well, thank you for being a listener, and thanks for being a supporter of the show. Appreciate that.
I'm glad your hobby is something you put money into.
Yeah. And good news, this is the one.
What?
Scuba diving.
Oh.
This is the one This is the one that you can make into a business. It'll be successful. You'll just make money and you'll be happy for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the problem is that he just didn't find the right one yet.
That's it.
Scuba
Okay.
would work.
That makes sense.
Yeah, scuba's that's full
Okay.
stop. Oh, thanks, buddy. I'll take the throw. Boom. Yep. He threw
Nice
me water.
catch.
Thanks, bud. Yep. I'm gonna go get that now.
This is
I actually ended up hanging out with a professional scuba diver the other night.
Really?
A guy that travels all over the place and he does instruction and everything. I didn't exactly catch the reason for all the travel, other than just scuba instruction.
yeah.
But yeah, it sounded like fun.
Maybe because he's from Missouri, so he's got to travel to actually do his
That
job.
might be
That's probably it.
That's all the
Scuba's-
travel. Got to
is
travel
scuba
to
one
the
of those
ocean.
things where it's like golf, where you spend a bunch of money on your own equipment, or is it one of those things where like you just rent it wherever you go and you don't care?
I'm sure the people who do it more than once or twice probably buy their own
But if
stuff.
you're traveling, you're not trying to fucking ship all that.
Yeah, that's
Well, you
true.
don't take the tanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get the tanks usually where you're at.
the footy fin things, you probably.
Yeah, you travel with those.
Okay.
You
Have
take those.
either of you ever scuba dived? You
I've never-
have?
Yeah,
Really?
I've snorkeled. I've never
I've snorkeled and I've done some light scubaing.
Okay. Just like over the clothes stuff or what? Like.
Good one.
Yeah,
Good
thanks,
one.
bud.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
was there.
We're getting along. Yeah. We're having a day. You and me are getting along really good. 7 years, we're finally clicking. This is really
Finally
nice.
clicking.
Glad you're on my side on this.
I would never go like open ocean.
Yeah.
Fine. I would never do like cave exploration.
Oh, that's a
or
different
anything.
animal.
That shit's scary. I don't know
Oh,
how
yeah.
this happened.
Actually, me and that guy, we talked about that the other night.
Really?
The what was it? The soccer team or something got trapped in an underwater cave.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Years ago, and they had to send rescue cave divers in
Oh yeah. I remember
to
that.
get them out. But it was like they had to knock the people out. They had to
Knock
send a
them
doctor in and sedate them because the cave tunnels in and out were so close. They were so tight. They were like, if you don't think you're claustrophobic, you get into a pitch black cave tunnel underwater and you're
Oh
claustrophobic.
my god.
Fuck,
that's
can you imagine?
This creates.
That's
I feel so much anxiety just thinking about it.
Oh, I'm with
And
you.
that's why they were like, we have to knock these people out before we get them out.
Oh my god.
Because even if we put all like the regulator and everything in their mouth and everything, they're gonna freak out.
Oh my gosh.
Whew.
And the only they couldn't they tried sending down rescue divers and the rescue divers couldn't do it. They had to use cave divers.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
Yeah,
I
because like
feel
it's
like-
a different level of not being claustrophobic.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
obviously that sounds horrible, but honestly, just snorkeling is too much for me. Like putting
I
my
love
face
snorkeling.
underwater and then breathing, that is
It is.
scary.
It is. Okay, you're not wrong.
Thanks.
You're
Yeah.
not wrong, 'cause
No,
there
there's
is-
an instinct in your brain
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
don't do this.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Just hold your fucking breath.
even knowing that like the surface of the water is like at my ears, it's just something about having your face underwater
not
and taking
okay.
your breath is really.
And it's weird,
Yeah,
right? Because when you
yeah.
breathe snorkeling, it's not easy. Like it's not like, oh, this just is like no big deal. Like there's some effort like
Yeah, yeah.
into like
You kinda have to
forcing
force the
yes.
first couple breaths.
It's weird. I
Yeah.
can't do it. Anyway, Oscar, thanks for writing in. That's all the advice that we have.
Glad we got that settled. Yeah.
So, like turning hobbies into things. I feel like, Nick, this is something you've done.
So it's funny because listening to him describe it, I wish I were more like him.
That you could monetize your hobbies?
Yeah. Like I know I created Mental Fit, you know, but like that is so far. I'm so far on the other end of the spectrum from where Oscar is.
What do you mean?
As far as like, I don't have that entrepreneurial mindset.
Okay. So you're not
I do
constantly...
not have that.
I
at
don't.
all.
I don't either.
So-
I don't do it.
So like with Mental Fit, it took a lot of energy and a lot of mental energy and really kind of forcing myself to get outside my comfort zone and really try to work and make this happen.
Yeah.
Which funny story, I did end up meeting up with our mutual friend contact about like marketing this business.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And said the same thing that every single person I've talked to has said to me. It's like,
Get a
you
social
need
media.
to have an Instagram.
So, okay, side story. I had Nick and Whitney come to my class and talk to my students, and it went really well. And I was bragging on Nick for a minute, and I was like, my friend has created this personal training business, and he, is doing it in a very therapy informed way, and I just feel like he's the only guy on the block doing that. And the sales pitch of just describing what you do crushed. Immediately, all the students were like, "Oh, no, he's a genius. That needs to happen." And they all, because they are under 70 years old, ask the same question simultaneously. They are pulling out their phones to be like, I am sold. I want to support you. I'm probably interested in working with you. And they all ask the same question. What's your Instagram? An old man Tangeman on his dial-up AOL.
Instagram.
He just stares at them
pulled
like
out
they
his
are
internet
describing
disc.
spacecraft. And he's like, well, I don't really have that. And just the disbelief on their faces where they're like, can I give you some business advice?
Yeah.
You should be findable. Like,
Yeah.
Nick's like, I'm in the phone book. You can find me. And like, I had to
the yellow
reassure
pages.
them.
In
I
the
was
white
like,
pages.
Yeah, I had to reassure them. I'm like, he has a website. And then Nick's like, oh, yeah, I have a website. Can I tell you that? And they're like, I guess. Like, yeah, it's fine. But like, why don't you have an Instagram? But I'm kind of on your team on that because like a lot of private practices are big into like having Instagram and stuff. And like, I don't think that's appropriate. Like, I just don't like it. But yeah, so I'm kind of on your team on that. But this is
It's
personal training.
It's unrealistic.
Like, I think you should
it's
probably
like
do it.
opening a business in the 80s and not having a phone.
Yeah, or a fax machine. You gotta have one of those. And that's a big deal. So you're not like this either, Jacob. You just don't have that, like, turn everything into like, I have an idea. Like, there's an angle on this. I just,
No, I work really hard to keep my professional life and my personal life kind of separate.
Is that why you have a stage name when you're a stripper?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
smart.
The peppermint. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I work really hard to keep, I have my, I get home. I've now trained myself so well
Yeah.
that by the time I get home, I literally do not think about work at all.
You're done.
I'm out.
Okay.
And it's not dislike of anything or whatever. It's not about that.
No.
But it is purely about keeping those things separate.
Balance.
Like my wife will ask me when I get home from doing shows, how was work? Work was fine.
You don't care.
That's the extent of that conversation.
Yeah.
And then she will talk to one of our friends that I work with.
Oh, yeah. I've heard this.
And she'll be like, hey, and our friend will be talking to my wife and be like, oh, I'm sure Jacob told you all about this, but this was crazy, and this was crazy, and this was crazy. And then she's like, Jacob didn't tell me any of that.
Yeah. President Biden was there, and just said hi to everybody. He
And I'm
signed
like,
autographs.
in fairness, it's because by the time I got home, I had forgotten about those
You
things.
just completely let
Like
it
they're
go.
just out of my head.
Have you ever thought about starting a business? Have you ever, because I mean, obviously in podcasting, you're a business owner.
Yeah.
But like, have you ever just throughout life had those moments where you're like, you know what, I'm good at this, or I have an idea, and like maybe I just kind of want to work for myself, and like
We have a loose retirement plan.
Okay.
That we kind of bat around every now and then. A loose possibility of a retirement plan.
Okay.
Which is
You've got concepts of a plan.
That's it. We have concepts of a plan.
Well played. Yeah.
And that is buy a bar in a southern town somewhere.
Yeah.
And just run a bar that has a stage, and have
local
bands,
stuff.
have comedy. That's it.
You would do so well.
I think
at that.
would be very good at that.
Just a little roadhouse.
That's it. Exactly.
He would do so well at that.
Oh, yeah.
My God. Like I think it would be
Like we're both very good at being those people already.
yes.
Yeah.
Here's where I think you would fail, if I may.
Go ahead.
Because I do think you'd be good at it. I think you would do too well, and I think he would underbuy. I think he'd get a small venue because he's like, I don't want
and
the
outgrow
stress.
it?
Yes, I think he would easily outperform his venue because if they became bookers, they would book that shit up with real talent,
Right.
all the fucking time.
But that's fine though, because then
That's
you've got,
a good problem
then you're
to
in
have.
demand.
That's what I'm
right?
saying, though.
Yeah,
Well,
then you just charge double for the
So
I was
then
going to
it
say, you just charge
becomes-
more at the door.
This is
Then it becomes like this holy shit, best kept secret kind of thing. Like
That's
if
it.
you know, you know.
Yeah.
But now you got to update the soiree. You got to make it like classy.
that's fine.
Right?
That's fine.
What would be your theme? What would be? We have gotten so far away from Oscars.
Theme? I don't know. What theme?
Don't act like you haven't thought of this.
I haven't.
Then I'm
What do we
angry at
theme?
you. Why have you not thought this through? You
Oh,
gotta have a
I
theme.
know what it'd be.
Bar.
What's his bar theme? No, that's stop.
No,
it.
no,
You're
no.
being
It would,
silly.
No, it would be the South will rise again or
Oh
something.
yeah,
like
it's
that.
Confederacy. yeah,
it would be definitely.
It's obviously the Confederacy.
that's clearly.
Yeah, just on the nose.
And he would be the only one down there that would have that idea.
yeah.
Totally original.
Nobody's thought of it, but it's the loudest dog whistle you've ever heard. There's just a line around the block. They're all so excited to get in there. Oh yeah, that's 100% what it would be.
Yeah, that's probably it.
So Oscar, I mean, I relate.
Oscar, open a Southern themed bar.
Yeah, that's where we're going with this. So, like, I relate a little bit to this from this angle of like, it's hard to just relax and enjoy something without, either. I mean, like for Oscar's part, he tries to monetize it, but I think a lot of people find that they struggle because, and this is something I think, Nick, you do. You can't just enjoy something and not get good at it. You have to like get into it, and like I was like, hey bro, why don't you do a little bit of art? Like, why don't you dabble? And like you fucking mastered Adobe Photoshop and like started like anguishing over everything. I'm like, bro, we do not have anybody buying these. Like, you do not have to try this hard. I'd like talk you down. Like,
the reason I'm laughing is because I woke up early this morning and had some time to kill. So again, I got into Madden football and I'm still in the tutorial trying to learn how to recognize defensive coverages.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, another perfect example. You've never even played this fucking game because you can't just relax and just fucking play it. You're like, no, I gotta get it right. Like you did the same thing with you had a baseball game for years and it was like so outdated. And you were just like, so same thing. Like, I mean, with Photoshop, music, you can never just, half-ass it and just show up and be like, I like this. It's fun. Like, you're just like, no, I have to like master this.
I think my problem, let's be real, is a little bit different than Oscar's. The way that he describes it, it's almost kind of like, it kind of reminds me of, I think I talked about this last week, some golfers that I know.
Yes.
That have to have skin in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
They gotta make it interesting.
Can't just go and play and have fun with it. It's got to mean something. It's got to have an impact.
Right.
Like, I have to have the potential to win something big, and I'm willing to risk losing something because it makes it exciting.
Yes.
That's funny. After last week's episode, I don't know if you remember, but I said I was going to Pop Stroke the next day. The mini putt, the mini golf thing. And so a group of us went the next day. And because of our conversation, I suggested, I was like,
let's play
some
money.
Let's bet on these.
Yeah.
We're going to do $1 a hole. Most you can lose is $18.
Yeah, that's nothing.
And it was just the winner of every hole wins, there were 4 of us. So like the winner of every hole wins $3 a hole.
Oh, that's fun.
And it changed the game completely. Like, and the other 3 people all laughed when I suggested it. They all went, that's stupid. We don't need to do that. And I went, okay, fine. And then like 5 minutes later, we're walking down to the course, and our buddy was like, all right, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna do $1 a hole. And I went, great. If you guys want to do it, I'm in.
Yep.
And by hole 3. I'm just walking, relaxed, having a good time, and they're fucking on.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, all right, who's winning this? And I even came up with a tiebreaker. Because, it's mini golf. Like, we're going to have the same score on holes. So closest to the hole on the next hole wins the previous hole.
Oh, there you
in
go.
case of a
That's
tie.
perfect.
Because you could just roll it over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you could
roll it over $6 on the next hole.
You could roll it over. We did want to. That seems like a lot.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
So like we're going to settle each hole as quickly as possible.
Sure. Yeah.
And the closest, like your first shot, closest to the hole on the next hole.
Now they're really
is the
into it,
tiebreaker
right?
for the last hole.
I love it.
And then they all stop drinking.
Yeah. No, nobody's drinking it. I want an espresso. Yeah. Bring me a Red Bull.
They're reading putts.
Yeah.
Using their ball
They're
marker.
getting a caddy.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going to notice it breaks left on this. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I am like ordering drinks because they have the QR codes set up around so you can order drinks and they'll walk them out to the hole that you're at. And I'm just ordering drinks at like every other hole. I was definitely the loser on the night.
Yeah, I didn't care.
Like out of the $18 I could have lost, I think I lost 16.
Yeah, but you were the winner in fun.
I had a great
You
time.
had a great time. That's the point of it. It's amazing how putting that it just changes everything.
Well, that's what they said. They were like,
this.
this changes the whole game. This makes it so much better.
Yeah.
So, Oscar, have you tried gambling on Scuba?
That's it. Yes. Yeah.
Pay you $20, you don't come back.
Bitch. Actually, send us that. You're a third producer, so we would just like you to give us $20. Like, that's pretty helpful, actually. No, but it is a very relatable thing that and I've seen this in a lot of people. And it's interesting because I think like people that are just, they're the kind of folks that, like you said, or I think similar to you, they don't half-ass. So like if they're interested in something, part of their interest in it is mastery of it. Like they enjoy the complexity of it. And that's part of how they're having fun. And other people get mad at them like, stop, just enjoy the game. You don't have to like understand all the mechanics of the game. But I think we have to respect that some people's brains work like that. And they're like, no, this is part of my fun is I enjoy how it's done and I want to do it well. And so I'm really into it. And I think that's actually great. Like I'm a big fan of like letting people enjoy their thing however they enjoy their thing. I mean, monetizing, it's interesting. Like I can appreciate why that becomes problematic over some time that you're like, oh, I like scuba, let me make it a business. And I think, Oscar talks about like, I burn myself out on that, So like once I start doing that, it's not fun anymore because now it's a job, and so now it's no longer an escape. It's another task on my list. And gosh, buddy, I mean, I love that you're self-aware. I love that you catch that about yourself. It sounds like Oscar's resisting that so far with scuba, but is having those thoughts. And so I like that. I like that Oscar's not giving into that again. Like, I mean, it will ruin your fun. I mean, very, very quickly. Once, I think a little touch of something becoming more interesting because it's monetized sometimes makes it more fun. But I think when you're working at it, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, this all actually, I don't know if, Oscar, I don't know if you're learning anything about this, but I am.
So.
I'm learning a lot from this.
We're growing from your letter.
This is, it really speaks a lot to my relationship with golf because, like, when it comes to, like, a puzzle, I can't leave a puzzle half done. Like, I have to finish it. I have to see the end product. Like you said, mastery is what I'm after.
Right.
Mastering whatever it is that I'm doing is what I'm after. So when you pick a sport that can't be mastered,
right,
then it's incredibly frustrating, and you just get
You're just gonna Bobby Fischer one day. I feel like you're just gonna snap and just go be like some weird ass dude like on the streets in fucking Finland or something, whatever Bobby Fischer did. I think that's what you're gonna do. And just be like this guy, it's like a golf savant, but like he doesn't fucking play anymore. He just leaves the course like 3 holes in after he just eagled. He just like fucking eagles 3 course, and then he's like, I don't want to play anymore. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like,
have a 5-year-long beard that's all matted and
that's you.
Yeah.
That's absolutely you in your 60s.
Yep.
Yeah, that's 100% gonna be you. Anyway, Oscar, good luck.
I don't have a whole lot of really helpful advice for this one.
It's so relatable. I mean, Oscar already knows, he's diagnosed the problem. I think he's observed the solution, which is I've got to prevent myself from behaving. Like I'm going to be inclined in that way, but I can stop myself. I
wonder if you could find something that you could say like, okay, here's how I'm going to define mastering this thing.
Yeah.
And not make it about... I'm not going to make the definition of mastery making money.
So setting some goals.
Yeah,
and saying,
setting some goals going into it.
This is my achievements list. I want to be able to do this in a year, this in 2 years.
Yeah.
And none of those be monetizing.
I don't need to start a band. I just need to learn the solo for Hotel California.
God,
like
what a good song.
That's my mastery, not being able to start a band and make money.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know.
No, I'm with you.
Maybe,
I think you nailed it.
Yeah, setting some goals. I think I'd start.
But now
with
I'm just so distracted. Can you play the solo from Hotel California?
I can play the first few bars of it.
That's pretty cool.
I know the whole song on bass. The bass part on that is really cool.
Shut up.
Listen to it again. Listen to the bass.
Listen to yourself.
The bass.
Listen to yourself.
The bass carries that song.
You don't tell people, I know the bass of song. Of course you do. Of course you do. I know it. I've never even tried.
No, you don't.
I can do it.
You don't know that one.
Give me a bass right now. I will play Hotel California flawlessly.
I'll bet you can't. I'm willing to go home. You guys keep recording. I'll go home. I'll go get the bass. I'll come back just to prove to you that you don't know what you're doing.
I will bet whatever amount of money you want to bet that you can't play the bass part to Hotel California.
Yes.
All right, Oscar, we got to move on. But listen, it's relatable. I mean, it's something that I think everybody's touched. But I love that you're just creating the boundary, right? Like I love you're creating a personal restriction. I love Nick's advice, creating a different set of goals that become your objective, right? And then that becomes achievable. It's something fun for you. It's fun to aim for that. And then that doesn't require us to like get so interested that we're monetizing something. And then just learning from your past, right? I mean, whenever you've ruined a bunch of hobbies because you've tried to monetize them, and then realizing like, no, please don't do this again. Like, just enjoy this, set different goals, try to achieve those. Don't make it something you're out there doing professionally. And, I think it's okay to enjoy teaching a hobby. I think that's nice. I think there's people that enjoy what their thing, and then they're kind of like, oh, I like coaching this. Like I enjoy shooting pool, or I enjoy playing golf. Like if you said, oh, I enjoy this hobby, I love golf, I like to play, I enjoy the sport, I enjoy the craft. I've taught a few lessons, and that was really fun for me, and it unlocked a whole new aspect of this hobby that I've never really accessed before. But I've spent so much time learning so much, I really enjoy giving that to other people. I'm fine with that. I don't see that as a problem if you can continue to do it for free with friends. But once you hang your shingle and you're like, I am now a professional golf instructor, I think it ruins it for you.
Yeah, it becomes work. It's a job. Yep.
So I like the idea of setting different achievable goals, measuring your enjoyment of the thing against that, and just honestly, at the end of the day, Oscar, stopping yourself. I mean, that's got to be it. You've got to just handcuff yourself to never do this. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting because Oscar talks about having ADHD and just starting meds. I'm really curious if that's going to help tamp this down. I think a lot of people that, have ADHD and ultimately get the meds, they notice some changes in impulsivity.
I was kind of thinking that too.
I'm curious if that'll work out. Anyway, Oscar, thank you for supporting our show. You've been wonderful to us, much more than we deserve. And thanks for this question. We ended up having a good time with it, but not answering it. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're talking about how to become unbothered. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Smitty Scoop, Mason Miller, Tess Miller, Byler T, Paris, Team Monaco, Oscar Swanrose, Hannah Marie, Emma Kane, Myra,
And Myra. She's in it.
Because I forgot to add her name.
I noticed.
Yeah. And so, there we go.
Yeah.
Would you like to sponsor the show? Become a therapy producer at patreon.com/therapy, and you get to hear your name at times like this if I remember to put it in there.
I love that you and I, after so many years of doing this together and splitting our duties, one really strong part of our relationship, nobody takes shots at the other guy when he drops the ball. Like there's,
I
we
fucked up
have
this time.
Week. Yeah, we would just, that's all we'd be doing. Like it's never a thing where the other guy's like, hey, get your shit together, fix this, or nope, it's fine because I will eventually drop that ball too, and so there's just no judgment. Like it's fine. I'll just clean up the mess.
Yeah. That being said, you should get your shit together.
Thanks, bud. Yeah. No, well, I need that. I need that pull up. All right, what do we got? What's our trivia?
Weirdest self-help books ever published.
Oh, yes.
All right.
I'm excited.
Which self-help book claims you can improve your life by practicing tantric potato gardening, combining ancient spiritual techniques with vegetable cultivation?
Jim's autobiography, final answer.
I wish that I wish my life was that interesting, that I had tantric potato farming in there.
A, the Spud Shaman.
Oh,
Enlightenment through potato planting.
I like that.
Tantric potato gardening. Harvest your inner peace.
That's on the nose.
Root chakra vegetables. A guide to spiritual farming.
Ooh.
Or D, potatoes and mantras. A journey to the soul.
Give me C.
I was going to say C.
I want C. That's just a great hook. Like that title sounds like I would pick that up.
All right, I'll take B then.
I'll go A. Because A is the Spud Shaman.
Spud Shaman was my second
solid.
choice.
Yeah,
it's solid. B was on the nose. Really?
It is tantric potato gardening.
Sometimes don't bury the lead. Sometimes, just come right out.
I took that one because it said tantric in the title.
Honestly, I love that.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, what is the title of the self-help book that encourages people to unleash their inner horse by neighing and galloping to achieve personal freedom?
Oh, yes. I'm so glad this is real.
It is your main endeavor.
Yeah, I like that. Unleashing your inner Ed, your Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
I like that.
Clop 2 times for yes.
Oh, that's good.
Oat bags for the soul.
That's right.
All right. Hoof beats to happiness, embracing your inner stallion.
Yes.
Don't look this horse in the mouth.
Yes.
Naysayers, be gone. Gallop to greatness.
Oh, yes. These are all so good.
Horse wisdom, personal growth through equine expression. It's got to be that one.
That sounds legit.
Unbridled success. Trot your way to the top.
Give me that. Give me D.
Nope, I already got D.
You got D?
I got D.
Shit. D
You
is
jumped
so
early last time. I got it this time.
D is so
I got the
good.
D.
Damn it.
Give me that D.
All right, give him D. Give me shit. They're all so good. I mean, it's obviously C, but I'm putting my heart into. I want an A or B. Actually, I'll take A.
I'm going to go C, and it is C.
Of course
All right,
it is.
It is C.
And are you proud of yourself?
No.
You enjoy your point?
No.
Yeah. You answered
No,
correctly.
this is the point that, I wish I didn't do it.
Unbridled success is the people's champion. Okay, that was the correct answer.
Hoofbeats to happiness is pretty good.
That's pretty solid.
So good.
Yeah.
They're all so good.
But I also like the pun of naysayers.
That naysayers
Be
was
gone.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
right.
honestly, I think what we've just learned is that the publisher of that book fucked up.
Yeah.
I think they
The publisher of that book is a monster.
you tripped on the starting line.
I will be boycotting that book.
I'm not going to buy it.
No.
Yeah, no, that's the line I draw.
Nope. I have an official boycott
Naysayer.
going now.
I am now a naysayer. Are we done?
We done.
How to become unbothered from Anonymous. Dear Pod Therapy, a few weeks ago, my husband said something that stuck with me. You carry a lot of anger. It made me go completely silent for a second as the words seemed to be drawn in my brain. After a bit of reflection, I had to agree. He's right. My anger surges quickly, and it lingers. Later on, I explained to him that it has to do with my culture and the place I lived most of my life. Anger is a defense mechanism that we all develop there. We're known to have tempers, but it's caused by the social pressure that shapes our society. We're known to curse a lot from a young age. We're combative people. We tend to be untrusting, hostile, hot-headed, but we kind of have to. It's so common that we turn it into something almost charming. I know that I can be really funny when animated by rage. Even my husband can attest to being amused by my irate monologues when I'm passionate about something or someone that annoys me. Also, I'm aware that I make an effort to sound and look a bit funny, so I don't seem honestly hostile or mean-spirited. Things get less serious and more tolerable. That doesn't mean I enjoy being genuinely angry. I particularly don't enjoy the uncontrollable physical effects anger causes, such as agitation, elevated heart rate, high blood pressure, spikes in cortisol, etc. A few days ago, I even told him the pressure behind my eyes was making me feel dizzy. And it was all because we realized we were being deceived by someone very close to us and that we have to interact with constantly. My brain cannot handle unfairness towards me, but especially against my husband. Another point that I made to my husband is that I'm not angry without a reason. My anger is a reaction to being wronged. And 99% of the time, I'm reacting to something his ex-wife said or did, or when his kids break specific and important boundaries. For example, video calls with their mother are reserved for their bedrooms because we don't want her looking inside our house. We do not give the dog people food. We do not give the dog
people food.
Thank you. So he doesn't learn that he can ask.
Who are these dog people?
Who are the dog people?
I don't
Why
know,
are
but
you
don't
not
feed 'em.
feeding them?
Do not feed the dog people.
Oh Lord! Thank
Will
you.
not give the dog people food.
We do not. We
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
And if you do it, I will have a very pointed Zoom call with your ex-wife.
Lord. Things like that. I will refrain from describing the absurd behavior of their mother. For her, we keep a folder documenting all the times the kids were neglected, etc. It might be enough to say that she keeps trying to force interactions with me, saying I have no reason to have anything against her, while also calling me mentally unstable. I never refuse to talk to her. I'm just not going to be her friend. The point is that her shenanigans are the one thing that makes me the most angry, and I have a really hard time cooling down when my husband or I suffer an injustice, or when he gets blamed for her mistakes, or when she acts like she can dispose of our time, or when she keeps pushing on our boundaries because she thinks she can win by screaming the loudest. I don't think I'm an angry person. Most of the time, I'm actually pretty quiet and silly. But when I get angry, I stay there for a while. I don't know how long it takes me to diffuse my irritation. I also don't want to ever spread it to other people, so I shut down a bit. I stay silent and distant until I feel like I can interact again. When we're out doing something as a family, if I ever get really upset, I do this because I know I might say something that is not exactly wrong but won't help either. My husband has a hard time with that because when he gets wronged, he gets sad instead. In the end, I can't act. We prefer to avoid any interaction between the ex-wife and I. He would like to never have to talk to her again, but that is still a few years away. I can't defend myself. I can't change anything. So I end up alone inside myself, stewing. I can't live like this anymore. I need to cure my anger because we want to have a baby, and I can't let other people affect the health of my child. I care a little that my body is being damaged by this now, but I care even more that it might cause issues during pregnancy. I don't want to let other people have that kind of power over me, and I especially want to choose the best revenge of living happily ever after. I also can't punch people in the face, so that's out of the window. Jacob.
You can.
She referenced Jacob as he was saying that. Yeah. She says, I can't punch people in the face, Jacob. My fear is that I don't know how to control this fire. I don't know how to tell my body to keep my heart from jumping. So, first of all, how can I recover from the immediate reaction of white-hot anger? And how do I prevent these spikes of adrenaline from happening at all? How do I not get angry when there is a legitimate reason to be so? Thank you all for doing the show. This is my favorite podcast, and you know it. Thanks, Anonymous.
Okay. What do you get angry about, Jim?
Man, I have some things. I know I come off as a peaceful dude. Traffic. Fuck traffic. So the other day, I'm still upset about it. So the other day I was...
Clearly.
I was very upset.
This is what I was going for.
Yeah.
No, I have a list.
Poke the bear.
Yeah, no, just thank you for giving me the opportunity. I need to talk. So I was leaving UNLV the other day. I was going down Maryland, and Maryland's already choppy.
Oh, yeah, it's in...
Well,
they're doing
F1's in town again.
Oh, yeah.
So fuck our city, fuck our whole economy, fuck all the roads. They do not care. They're just ripping everything up again, just destroying the town. And we are, I don't know, the tourist capital of the world. Maybe we need fucking drivable roads. Anyway, I was behind this person, and it was one of those situations where we were in a right turn only lane.
Okay.
And they got up to the front of the line, red light on, our side. You know where I'm going.
Yep.
With this. And it was pretty clear they would sure like to join the left-hand side.
Nope.
And
they are in the incorrect
traffic.
lane.
Too late for that.
But they are stopping all of us from turning right. And it's already pretty shitty out there. That traffic's already really bad. Buddy, you want to see Angry Jim? I am fucking on that horn. I would stop myself from getting out and knocking on the fucking window.
When you start honking that horn, do you do multiple honks? Do you do a single honk and leave it? Or do you just sit down on the horn and let it blare?
One abbreviated beep.
Okay.
They get it.
And then the rest is silent in your head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in my head, I am putting my face on the horn. That's what's happening internally. Externally, it is one abbreviated beep. That's it. That's all
I work really hard to... I actually work really, really hard to not get very angry about things. I purposely try. I empathize with the writer a great deal. I purposely try very hard to not get angry about things. What Jim is talking about does bother me as well.
Yeah, and
I will. I think pretty calmly. I think without. This sounds odd, but I think without very much, if any, road rage at all, I will push the horn in the car, and I will let it just go continuously.
Wow.
Until they move. And they might move because the light turns green and they move. They might decide I'm in the right-hand turn lane. I guess I'll go ahead and just turn right.
You're going to make it a problem.
I sit there and just make all the noise that I can.
I think that's a hate crime.
Until they move.
I don't think you're allowed to do that.
I do it.
I think the horn will turn off. I think there's a safety on the gun.
There is not.
I think it stops you from
There
doing
is not.
that. Oh, boy, that's too much.
I had a cop one time ask me if everything was okay
Yeah.
in town because I did that.
Yeah.
And a cop like pulled up next to me, didn't pull me over.
Okay.
But pulled up next. He was a motorcycle cop.
Yeah.
Pulled up next to me at like the next light and said, like, are you okay? I said, yeah. I was behind a guy back there in the right-hand turn lane, and he was trying to go straight. And so I was honking at him because he was in the right-hand turn lane and he was holding up traffic.
You just explained it.
Yeah. And the cop went, oh, I hate when people do that.
Okay.
And then he drove off.
Yeah, because he's a human being.
Yeah. Because we exist in a society that needs laws.
Yeah. I am sure that there's some like disturbing the peace thing that could fall under.
I think it
but
is.
he wasn't worried about that.
It's real adjacent to
Yeah.
that. I don't know.
Also like it helped that I like rolled the window down and was calm and was like, oh yeah, this is what happened.
Yeah. So
I mean,
like,
that helps.
And I think this relates to the writer because I feel like when other people impose their bad choices or their bullshit.
That's it. You made the mistake.
Yes.
Don't make me pay for it.
Yes.
You made the mistake.
Yes.
So turn right, make a U-turn. You're going to be back on the road that you want to be on in 90 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just go.
Well, this is where the writer talked about, said there was a phrase in this letter that I really liked that had to do with like not respecting our time, like imposing yourself into our world and sucking our time away.
Yeah.
I get pissy about that too.
Well, and the writer said fairness. I'm also I'm real prickly about that as well.
Justice.
That was the thing that stuck out to me that I 100% agree with and empathize with is injustice.
Yeah.
Or perceived injustice.
Okay.
That's the thing. I don't get angry very often, but there are certain things that will just take me from 0 to 10.
I've seen it. There's a very few things, and they're peculiar.
The Dutch.
Yeah, no, it's like that.
Those goddamn wooden shoes.
No,
Yeah, they're so loud.
No,
Fuck you, the Netherlands.
Yeah, no, you're 2 steps away from the truth. That is how Nick is. He is the most stoic dude you'll ever meet, and then out of nowhere, it'll be like fucking windmills.
Yeah,
and it'll just be like, and he just like you're like, haha, and then he's
goddamn
like,
tulips.
unironically,
Dumbest flowers.
furious about this, and you're like, hell, shit, he's serious. Like this is happening, and he's like, no, fuck that. Like okay, like it is very specific, and like it doesn't always add up, but he'll just be like, no, fuck that for this reason. It's like this Ancient of Days grudge match that he's got against the problem. Like okay, man, I get it. Like I fucking hate cowboy boots.
Almost, it's completely any kind of injustice where I feel like, like especially like if I'm following the rules.
Yeah.
And it's an inconvenience for me to follow the rules.
Let me
But then
list.
somebody else doesn't follow the rules
Yeah.
and they're not inconvenienced at all. It's like this is life punishing the people who do the right thing.
Exhibit A.
That's what pisses me off.
Grocery store aisles. You want to piss off Nick Tangeman. Put your cart
open a grocery
perpendicular
store.
Yeah.
and walk away.
Here we go. Here it
Oh.
is.
Oh, God.
If I had a nickel for every time in our lives I have had him just start talking unprovoked about grocery store aisles.
Do you not just bump the cart with
The
your cart?
etiquette about it.
I shouldn't have to, Jacob.
I agree. I agree,
don't
but
ask
I
me
just
questions.
bump the cart.
Yeah.
Like if you park the cart in the aisle and then leave it and it's in the way, like I'll just use my cart and just play a little bumper car game with
I
your
do
cart.
agree that we
I
all
just
need to
flip it
follow.
upside down. I just
That's
grab it
fine.
at the bottom.
You just-
Do we all
you just
agree?
throw it over the aisle?
Yeah.
It's the same rules as driving. Get on the right hand side. of the aisle.
yeah.
If we all just do that, we're fine. We have a system for this. We have a solution. Why are people doing the left hand walking up formula? It's dumb.
Yeah.
Stick to the right. I'm with you on this.
We have to share society.
Yeah.
I
have to
walk
share
through the
this
grocery
earth.
aisles. I push the grocery cart with my belly so that I have my hands free, so I can just put both hands out.
living in the
as
future.
far out as possible.
Yeah,
And
block.
I go right down the middle of the aisle with hands out.
Just goal line defense.
Yep. Yeah.
He's stopping everybody.
This is my aisle.
Ain't nobody getting through.
Bread belongs to Jacob now. So, writer, I have a couple of notes on this. One, the most important thing. So when I'm doing anger work, the number one thing I want to start with is self-awareness. That's so important. Like getting to a place where we feel and notice the emotion happening. And that sounds silly because I think people here, they go, what do you mean? Of course you're aware that you're angry. oftentimes people act through the anger, but they are not aware of it. It's like wearing glasses that they're not aware they're wearing, and they're seeing the world red, and they don't realize, oh, everything looks like this when I feel this way. Let me take one big step back and notice that, right? And so, like, I want the very first step to be, am I checking in with myself? What are my indicator lights that I might be in an angry state? And then when we start catching that, like, oh, I think I might be there, taking that big step back, noticing the domino effect and saying, okay, what was my trigger? And this kind of gets into CBT, you know, which is really what we like to treat this with, which is understanding the meaning that you're ascribing to things. And the writer's already talking about that. Like, I think it's very close to finding the solution here.
Oh, yeah.
Which is realizing I am ascribing so much meaning to incidents that probably don't have it. So, like, a good example of this is personalizing the car in that right-hand turn lane, personalizing the grocery cart, feeling that this person is wronging me on purpose, and that there's an agenda, feeling that the ex-wife has an agenda to somehow take you down a notch, when really they're probably just a self-interested person who is not considerate of others. And that is a character flaw, but it is not menacing, right? It's benign, it's annoying, it's not intentional, it's not personal. Disassociating the meaning from the action slowly and challenging the way you're interpreting things, I think, gives you a little bit more wiggle room.
What is that? There's that old saying, never attribute to malice what can be attributed to stupidity or
That's it.
Lack of self-awareness or whatever, you know?
Yeah. I have a catty Jim. I'm sassy Jim sometimes, and I become a bitch. And
no.
Look, this is news to the listeners. You know this about me. But that's only because you've known me in other contexts where it's really funny because, like, I think if people
when Jim starts snapping,
it's so funny. Like, I just think about how the listeners...
He's just adorable.
I think about how the
He's
listeners...
like a puppy who's angry.
I think the listeners know us in like this context. It's like they get this one impression of us. They don't know us in all these other contexts. In a business context, when we're working... Business. It's funny because you are the nicer guy between the two of us. And people would think like, oh, Jim's, you know, always people-pleasing. He probably like always wants to make everybody happy. And that just shows up. But I get bitchy faster than you.
Yeah.
And so there's been so many situations where like we're CC'd on an email and I'm like, I'm mad that I'm CC'd. Why am I part of this? And I'll make noise about it. Or one of my most catty, bitchy moves. Have you ever seen Let Me Google This For You?
Yeah.
I send that shit generously. So, like, if one of my students is like, they'll ask a question, I will not reply with the answer. I will take the time to type it all into Let Me Google This For You, get the link, and then send that shit back to them to help them understand you shouldn't have emailed
Which
me.
I think is the epitome of cattiness, is when you spend more time to do that than it would just to answer the question.
No, you're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. It's a problem. It's a character flaw. But
you
like,
don't just reply with a 2-word answer. Just Google it.
No.
You could just say Google it.
Yes. That's not enough.
That doesn't send the message.
I feel like that sends a pretty good message.
You know what sends a better one? Let me Google this for you.
I don't think so.
It is a great website. Because have you ever seen this?
Yes. Yeah, I don't
fantastic.
Yeah.
For the listeners that don't know, type that shit in. That's a fun one. It's slow motion fucking videos, a screen, going to Google, opening Google, going to the search bar and typing in the exact question that the person just asked you and then actually gives them the results. So like I want them to realize you've wasted my time and I'm mad about it.
Yeah.
It's like, you should have Googled this. Do not come. Anyway. So like, writer, I like Nick's point there that, you know, the malice and indifference or ignorance thing, not ascribing meaning, I think is a big part of this. So step one is self-awareness, noticing these things instead of acting through them and seeing the world through them. I want us to pull the glasses off and notice that we're wearing them. That is tremendous. Second step is getting to a place where we're challenging the meaning we ascribe to things and not personalizing it, realizing humans are dumb. Humans are selfish. They are not usually malevolent. They're not usually trying to become mean to people and cause people, to suffer. They are usually just stupid, and that's usually what you're experiencing. And then step 3, the only other suggestion I have is grounding techniques. Spending some time looking into mindfulness and grounding techniques. Mindfulness is one of my favorite ways to address this because it steps back and it says, mentally, anger is in the room with me, right? I'm here I am in my brain room, and I'm just sitting, in a little yoga pose, and anger has entered the room. And I accept its presence, I see it, but it is not me and I am not it. It exists. It exists with me. It's present. It's speaking to me. It's explaining its feelings to me. I receive those, and I allow it to also exit the room when it's ready. And there's a differentiation that we need there because I am not angry. Anger dwells among me. It is here in the room with me. I like that. I think that mindfulness has a lot to teach us, and I find that a lot of people have a lot of success with that.
I've also found that, if you can look at and recognize patterns and just understand in advance, okay, this is the thing that gets me upset.
Yeah.
And I always like to talk about anger as like a secondary emotion. So anger is the response that we have.
Anger is a secondary emotion. What's anger got to do with it?
Right.
Who needs a heart when
so anyway,
can't
if you can
broken?
identify the emotion that happens before anger,
with it.
then you can deal with that emotion. So it's not just that, ex-wife says these things, therefore I'm angry.
Yeah.
It's ex-wife says these things, I feel a certain way about it.
Yes.
And then I become angry.
Yes.
If you can figure out what that thing is, then we can deal with that. Right. The other thing too is when you start recognizing patterns, then you can change meanings of events to things that are going to be more helpful for you.
Yes.
So my example that I always like to use when it comes to traffic. Now, if someone is blocking the right-hand turn lane and they want to go straight, I don't have an answer for that. I'm going to be furious.
Yeah.
Okay. My trick doesn't work for that.
Yeah.
Because where my mind goes to.
Yeah.
And this is
Vehicular
so dark.
homicide.
No,
Yeah.
this is so dark. This is so dark. I kind of don't even want to say it. On the
Do
air.
it. Get it out there.
What my mind goes to is how many.
Thank you.
There we go. This is right.
Yeah.
How many people did we lose to COVID?
That didn't deserve to die.
Yeah. And this
guy.
fucker. But this one survived. This is the one.
This is what
This is the
natural
guy?
selection preserved.
This is what we have.
Yeah.
I
like that. I like that.
Anyway, but no, the thing that always got used to, still does, gets me riled up, is when people are doing crazy shit at high speeds.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
because that's different than it's making it inconvenient.
Yeah.
Okay, now they're putting people's lives in
like
danger.
lane jumping,
Jumping,
yes.
going across 3 lanes to
Oh
catch your
my
exit.
God.
When it's no, dude,
What are
you
you
missed that
doing?
exit. You need to hit the next one. You don't get
Yes.
to do that. And just shit like that.
Oh,
and I
it's
see
the
this all
worst.
the time where every accident is avoidable.
Yes.
If you know what the fuck you're doing and you're paying attention, every accident is avoidable.
I don't know about that. They're called accidents for a reason, Nick.
I disagree. But anyway,
Have you ever been in one?
I have.
What did
And
you
guess
do?
what?
What did you do
They
wrong?
were fucking avoidable.
Oh, here we
okay.
go. Yeah.
No. And I was in the wrong.
Yeah, there we go.
For both of
You're
them.
the worst guy to ask this question.
Yes.
'Cause you're like, no, I was wrong. And
I
here's
was
10
definitely
points
wrong.
about why.
Yeah. No, but so what I do is I turn that into a moment to give myself praise for being a good driver.
Okay.
In the sense that okay, I'm seeing somebody come up real fast behind me. I know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I can predict, okay, this asshole is going to come, he's going to pass me on the right and he's going to cut across all the way over to the left.
Yeah.
Okay. So I prepare for that. I let that happen. And the thing that I tell myself in my mind is saying to that guy, you're welcome. Because you're still alive, because I'm a good driver and I could see what you were doing. In the same sense that if you're a parent, and you see, oh, I'm recognizing my child's about to fall, and then I'm able to run over there and kind of catch him. It's that kind of thing that you're kind of thinking about, and you kind of get it's not I'm not going to blame the child for that. I'm going to look at that situation and say okay, I did my part. That's what I'm supposed to do. So I just use that as an opportunity to kind of rephrase it. see myself as being kind of the hero of the scenario, I guess.
See, if I see that happening, I'll see like somebody coming up behind me. I'll be like, they're going to pass me on the right, and they're going to cut across to the left. Then I'll just speed up just a little bit,
So they can't do it.
so they can't pass over. Like they'll still
They get
pass
blocked
me
in.
on the right,
Yeah.
but then they won't be able to cut back over to the left.
Yep.
And I'll just be like, yeah, now you're stuck in the slow lane.
Yeah. Just box him in.
Like I'll just see it, and I won't do it obviously.
yeah.
I've thought about that, but
I'll just speed. I'll gently apply a little more pressure to the gas.
That's right.
And just speed up a little
I
bit.
like that.
And just close it off.
yeah.
Will you block the merger? Like whenever people are doing like the cut, like it's a merge lane, it's an end. Will you get in the middle?
Where they're
and
trying to
block-
jump in line or something?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I don't, because like that to me, that makes sense. I mean, if we zipper, we all know how to zipper.
yeah.
Well, there's zippering, but there's also there's like right now with all the construction and everything.
Yeah.
There's one entry lane from I think it's from Sinatra onto I-15 North.
Okay, yeah.
And it's one that I take on occasion. Not these days very much because of the construction and all, but that's an entrance that I take onto the freeway fairly often when I'm using the freeway. And there is oftentimes right now a long line to get onto the freeway. And then I will see cars get out of the line and go forward and try to get back into the line.
No. Yeah,
And
no.
like those people, like I'll stay up on the car in front of me, but I'm going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not blocking them. I'm not really blocking them. I'm also not going to just casually let them in either.
Yeah.
Like I saw you.
Yeah.
Go on. Somebody else will let you in. It's not going to be me.
Yeah.
Or they won't let you in. Either way, I don't care.
Yep.
And that brings me to my advice for the writer.
There we go.
Okay.
Is work on yourself on this and work on not giving a shit about other people.
I like that.
Other people don't affect your emotions. Your emotions are you. Like this is you. Your reaction to things, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Like when I react to something, there are times that I get into an argument with my wife or with a coworker or whatever. Coworker, no, that doesn't count. There's times when I get into an argument with my wife, and at the end of the argument, I will say, "Man, I did not like how I reacted to that. It's not your fault.
Yeah. That's
Like
on me.
I was reacting to something that you said or did or whatever, but like." Your actions are your actions. My actions, that's my actions. That's on me.
Accountability matters.
Yeah. And so like when you let yourself go too far into that anger, that is your fault.
Yes.
That's no one else's fault but yours. So the ex-wife, the kid, whatever it is, that's your fault.
Yes.
And so like work on that. Work on Jim's thought with the mindfulness. Yeah, we all know, longtime listeners to this. We know that one of the three pieces of advice that I give is meditation
Yes.
and mindfulness.
Meditation. Yeah.
And that's it. Like knowing that anger, realizing that you have that anger, and just working with it,
Yes.
and knowing that there is no excuse for a reaction on your part.
Yep.
It's no one else's fault.
Yeah. I love that accountability. And, I appreciate that the writer seems to realize anger is a weakness for me.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
And the writer acknowledges that in that they are writing in.
Yes.
And so I mean, I applaud the writer. I mean, you've taken some of those steps already.
Yes. It makes me realize, like, so obviously it's election season.
Is it?
What?
Yeah, I don't know if
I
you guys
haven't noticed.
Have you not gotten 800 texts?
No.
So
I've got 3 right now that I haven't opened.
just popped in.
Like that have just been popping up. And that's not counting the ones that I've already opened and cleared.
and got rid of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the debate between Kamala and Trump, where she got him mad, and she was like poking little buttons about like talking about his crowds not being good and like just like not being successful, and like she just had all these moves that were pretty clearly just to piss him off, and then he like took the bait and got really pissed and just started like kind of incoherently getting angry and saying things, and I was like, wow, man, like that is such a weakness. Like when you can be provoked like that.
It just reminds me of Ace Ventura when he was being confronted. He was like, I think you just don't know how to handle your emotions. Yeah, and you're ugly.
Yes, exactly. So, writer, I like all these points. I like Nick's point about kind of using opportunities where you are given injustice or you are treated poorly, to sort of reflect on how this demonstrates that you are different than that person, and sort of reframing it, not as something that must be responded to, but as something that really demonstrates how different you are from that person, and taking a deep breath to reflect and say, I'm glad I'm not that kind of person. I don't do that.
Also, fuck them.
Yeah, also fuck them. And like, with the boundaries, I mean, I'm yes, we still have to have those, but you'll find, I think, Ryder, that the most powerful boundaries are the ones implemented with a peaceful mind and firm, but unemotional. And I find that you have way more success with that, because as an angry person, something you've probably experienced, Ryder, that I've had a lot of patients tell me about, is they have situations where it sucks because they're on the right side of the issue, but their reaction is so big that that's what people remember. And they're like, you were too much. I'm like, I'm too much. Do you agree with the bad person doing the bad thing? Like, no, you were right. And you were the people's choice.
Yeah.
But then you overdid it. And like, you lost our support. Now you're the problem. Like, now all eyes are on you and your wrong size reaction.
It's a cousin to the you can be right or you can be happy thing. It's not exactly that, but it's in that neighborhood.
It's adjacent to that idea. There was an old saying, like, how it ended is how it was. And I feel like in fights that often happens. Like a lot of times in arguments with your spouse, you are correct, but because you blow your top defending your correctness, now you're the bad guy.
That's it.
And Bill Burr had a joke about that. Yeah. When you're right, lean on the ropes. Shut up. Like, don't say anything else. Like, just let
Take
it
a knee
swing.
and run out the clock.
Take a knee.
You've won.
You've
Take
won.
a knee.
She's starting to call you names. She's saying you have a little dick. Like, that just lean on the ropes, man. It's a champagne of victory. Just enjoy it.
In arguments, I mean, this is just like how to win an argument.
Yeah.
Now that I'm into this now.
Yeah.
In arguments, silence is powerful.
It's so powerful.
If like I will be having a heated discussion with someone and I'll just shut up and look at them.
Yeah.
And just direct eye contact and
they
silence.
explain themselves.
That's it.
And then you don't respond. They explain themselves again.
Yeah.
And now they're getting a little like weird about it. And they're like, all right, well, I guess we're done. And you're like, okay.
All right, then.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye. Anyway, Ryder, good luck with this. I mean, I'm glad you're taking it seriously.
Keep working at it.
Keep working at it. I mean, CBT, mindfulness techniques, there's so many great resources out there. And as we were talking, there was a video or a book. Oh, it was a book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Fine book. It was fine.
Our first book review.
Our first book club that we
yeah.
did and never got through.
What a success that was.
Yep. But if you want, go into our Patreon, and we have a section of that front post. So if you go into the Patreon, at the very top, the pinned post is like a directory of all the episodes we've ever put into Patreon. And there's a book club section, and you can see the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And we have them, all the chapters that we covered linked, where you can hear Nick and I explaining the chapter and our impressions of it. And Mark did a great job introducing Stoicism in that concept and trying to talk about the ability to sort of detach from what's happening. And he had some great insights, and he does talk about anger a lot. And that was a big part of what caused him to write the book. So I encourage you to pick that up. I think that this is great work to do. Lean in on it, writer. Anger can sometimes be seen as quirky and charming, and that can convince us that it's fine. But in the real world, it has so many consequences. And like ultimately, you're better off without it. Don't be Donald Trump. So yeah, just do that. But
and also, just because you don't feel like you can hit people in the face, doesn't mean that other people should feel like you're not going to hit them in the face.
Great point.
Yeah.
Great.
You want that ex-wife to believe that if she pushes just a little too hard, you're going to punch her in the face.
We call that deterrence.
That's right.
Yeah. It's, what is it? The old Theodore Roosevelt strategy, something like walk softly, carry a big stick. That's it. You know, you just want people to know that you could fucking knock their head off their shoulders.
Yeah.
But you choose not to because prison.
Something about riding a moose.
I think that was part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bull moose.
That's it.
Which is apparently a boy moose. Yeah. That was his party, right? The boy moose party.
The bull moose party. The boy moose party.
It was the boy moose party. Look it up.
It was the moose with dicks party.
I'm pro dicked moose. We're going to take a quick break.
Nice
and
clean drop.
When we come back, we're going to wrap up this show. You're listening to Pod Therapy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Smitty, Scoop, Mason, Miller, Tess, Miller, Byler, T, Paris, Team Monaco, Oscar, Swanrose, Hannah Marie, Emma Kane, Myra, and Myra.
And Myra. Don't forget Myra.
Would you like to sponsor the show? Become a therapy producer at patreon.com/therapy. Okay. Last few that we got here.
All right.
Here we go. Which unusual book offers guidance on interpreting the meaning of your sneezes, suggesting they are messages from the universe?
The Bible.
Oh, this isn't fair. I'm reading this book right now.
No.
No, I'm in the
Stay out
middle
of
of
it.
this one.
Give
Yeah,
me the titles.
Sneezes and Secrets, Unlocking Cosmic Messages.
Oh, Lord.
The Sneeze Oracle, Predicting Your Future, one achoo at a time.
Oh, God, these are great.
Bless You, Decoding the Spiritual Signals of Sneezing.
Oh, that's got to be it.
Nasal Wisdom, The Mystical Language of Sneezes.
Give me Bless You. I'll take C.
It probably is, but
No,
I'm
I
gonna
want A.
have fun. I'll go B.
Okay, we got...
It's B.
Hey!
The Sneeze Oracle, Predicting Your
Oh.
Future, one achoo at a time.
Oh, that's so funny. You're reading this?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
not real. What?
I thought you were serious.
Why would he have gotten it wrong?
Yeah, that was weird. I was like, oh, is he throwing it? Like, that's
Yeah.
cool. Like,
Oh.
yeah, whatever.
He beat us again.
That's so funny. You've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right?
I have not.
Have you ever seen the movie?
No.
You know what? Don't read the book. Watch the movie. It's a great
Okay.
movie. It's really fun. It's a good time. And it captures the entire book. But it's really funny.
You just pissed off all of the sci-fi
I'm
listeners
sure.
that we have.
Yeah, I have it audioed on my phone. I listen to it. But anyway, it's a really funny book. It's sci-fi-ish, but it's like absurdism, and it's really good.
Yeah.
But there's a galactic church of the nose or something, and they believe that like the great nose is going to like clear its nostrils of the universe, and so like, but it's really funny because they run with this bit quite a while in the book, and there's a whole cult surrounding it, and you see this actual sermon the guy's giving, and at the end, they all sneeze, and then the priest goes, like he takes out a handkerchief and he like wipes like the congregation, like reaching out, and he's like, bless you. This is so perfect.
Yeah. And I think it's John Malkovich.
Oh,
doing
it's
it in
John
the movie.
Malkovich. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
great movie.
It's a good movie.
It's a fun time.
Which self-help book suggests that dressing your houseplants in tiny outfits can improve their growth and your mood?
Oh my God.
At least I'm not a cat lady.
So first off, before you read the answers, Emma, I want 800 more of these questions. This is the best.
This is a good one.
I'm so happy with this category.
Fashionable foliage, dressing up your plants for prosperity.
Oh God, yes.
Green wardrobe, boosting plant growth with style.
Oh, I like that too.
The well-dressed fern, how tiny clothes enhance flora and feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Photosynthesis and fashion, a guide to happy plants.
All right, I want A, but it's C. But I'm going to take A because I'm voting with my heart.
Oh, I was going to go A.
I'm going to go D.
Too late.
I wanted A because A is the one with alliteration.
Yes.
Fashionable foliage.
Yeah, I feel like they like
Yes.
the. All right, I'll take C then. Fine.
He'll just get the point.
It is C.
Of course
Yeah.
it is.
The
You proud of
well-dressed
yourself?
fern.
You happy?
I wanted A.
All right.
You took it from
I
me.
did.
Okay, we got one left.
And I
Last
still
one.
have it, even though you
Yeah,
have a point.
I've got the point.
Yeah, that's fine. Take your point.
What is the title of the book that combines cooking with spell casting?
Oh, yes.
Claiming that singing to your food can infuse it with magical properties.
Yes.
A, The Harmonic Chef, spells and meals in perfect harmony. B, Enchanting Eats, singing your way to magical meals.
That's it.
C, Chanting and Cooking, recipes for the soul. Or D, The Musical Kitchen, culinary magic through song.
Oh, all right. I'll be a gentleman. Go ahead, Jacob. What do you want?
I'll take C.
I want B.
I'll take D. It is B.
Yay!
Enchanting Eats.
That was a rare moment where the one I wanted it to be was the one. Like that works. Enchanting Eats is a great. I love this category. There are real published books about this stuff. Is great.
There are some crazy self-help books.
This could just be our trivia.
Dad
for a year.
Vice.
No, fuck you. What? No.
It holds up the side of the table.
title worked. It was a solid title. As we wrap up the show, we
Too
want to
bad you have
remind
to have kids to really get anything out of
No,
that
that's
book.
not. Fuck. God damn it. It's about being a dad. As we wrap up the show, we want to remind you can sign up at patreon.com/therapy and get our extended show ad-free a day earlier, as well as enjoy our live chat Discord community and our weekly deep dives, interviews, skill shares, research roundups, and rants. And we've got some new people coming to the Theraparty through patreon.com/therapy. Who is new to the
We
party?
got a new Therapod, Kay Mathis.
Welcome, Kay.
Hey.
Love having you. And we'd like to thank our benevolent, revered, generous, and flagrantly pro-therapy diehards who love you all so much they give till it hurts, the Therapartners. Thank you, Dirty B, Pickett, and Jake Schneider, I believe is how it's pronounced. And we want to especially thank our bosses, the mysterious and shrouded Illuminati members of our fan club, the Theraproducers. Thank you, Myra, Robert Brownie, Jr. Mint, Smitty, Scoop, Ben Dawn, Judy Schneider, Kayla Lansbury, Malia, Leon Kassab, Mason Miller, Richard fucking Macy, Carolyn Albert, Kevin Chamberlain, Tess Miller, Sammy Scoop, Ben Stanley Slapping Your Face, Sarah Smith, Adam Hathaway, Byler T, Mike Helm, Paris, Darren Cunningham, Lib, Team Monaco, Thunder Cougar, Falcon Scoop, Matt and Lisa Tangeman, Hey-O, Oscar Swanrose, thanks for the letter, buddy, we appreciated it, A Sunny Boy, Slurpy Kai, motherfucker, Sandra McWaffle, Dan Martin, Hannah Marie, Andrew Langmead, Emma Kane, Alina, Cody the DeLorean Guy, and Sam Cohn.
If you would like to hear this episode uncut and unedited
And why wouldn't you?
and uncommercialed, enjoy our spontaneous side projects at patreon.com/therapy. And thank you for supporting mental health.
That's all the time we got for this week's session. I want to thank our landlords, Matt Mattingly's Ice Cream Social Podcast. And thanks to those of you who contributed to our show today. We really appreciate it. But remember, pod therapy isn't something to keep all to yourself. Share the episode with the world. Tag us on the socials when you do. It's at PodTherapyGuys on Instagram, Threads, and Twitter. It's /PodTherapy on Facebook. And don't forget about all the extra goodies at patreon.com/therapy.
Do you want to submit a question to the show? You can ask anonymously at podtherapy.net or email us at podtherapyguys@gmail.com or by clicking the link on the episode description to be taken to our anonymous Google form. I'm Nick Tangeman.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jim.
Thanks, and we'll see you for your appointment next week.
I'll take that. That baritone voice was nice. I wish I talked like that.
Hey, you talk like you've been smoking a pack a day.
Is it rattly or whatever?
It comes and goes.
2 a.m., buddy. It's just, that was a late